Hi, this is Kendra from Pencil and Pigment, and today I'm going to be drawing a dog. It is the month of August, and I am doing Doggist. This is an A4 Lecterm. This specific color and paperweight have been discontinued, but they do carry others, and so I will link what they have in the description box below. The medium I'm using is another pen. So this is the Y&C Gel Extreme 0.7. It is a very pretty bronze. I've only used it once before and I've used this much ink. So I drew a deer with it, but I want to use it again. So I am pulling up my prompt list. Today is August 16th. It is the Hungarian Vesla? Oh my goodness. Okay. I have never seen this dog before. I don't know anything about this dog. It's really pretty. Hi, I don't know you. You're really pretty. Oh, wow. Yeah, so I'm starting with an eyeball and then I'll just build around it and we can go on. It is rainy. It is humid. It is rainy. It is wet everywhere. I have been booted out of the garden because it's just, the humidity is not kind. And it's one of those things where you're like, well, it's raining, it should be fine, but ooh, you work up a sweat when the humidity's that high, and then it gets, like, I don't want to get dehydrated. So I have to be really, really careful that I don't overdo it on super humid days, because I don't want to wear myself out and hurt myself on accident. So I'm thinking maybe tomorrow the humidity will calm down a little bit, and so will the rain, and then I can hop back into the garden and do all the garden things. But so for the time being, I'm just gonna have a nice relaxing doodle day because that's what I'm in the mood for. And I'm really trying to lean into my moods when it comes to the mediums. So I've been doing more pen and ink with this challenge than I originally thought I would be doing. And I feel like I say that a lot. Do I say that a lot? I don't know. Like, I feel like I do more ink than I always think I should be doing. I guess I just really like ink, is what this boils down to. Like, I just have to face facts. Like, I love watercolor and I love charcoal, but I just really gravitate towards ink all the time, which is kind of strange. That's a hard truth right there. Because fantasy me is just like, no, we are watercoloring. We're charcoaling. Gosh, I am so messy with charcoal. I laugh, but you know what's worse than charcoal? The Canon Neocolor 2s. I did a habit use. Okay. The transfer, I get it everywhere. Like everywhere. All over my desk, all over my hands, all over the next page. Like, this page has like Neocolor 2s on it. And I didn't mean to do that. I was being careful. I get it everywhere. Yeah, gosh, there's no solution for that guy. I really try to like keep my desk clean and stuff because of transfer and getting it on the front and back covers of these. And what I end up using is a magic eraser to really scrub down the cover. If it's a hardbound sketchbook cover, a magic eraser works pretty good. Because yeah, I get stuff all over them. So that's my secret for cleaning things. My desk, some of my art supplies. Like, I have it's a Pop and Go cup from Faber-Castell. It's like silicone. And I only like deep clean it at the beginning of the year to refresh and start my year. And so I get a lot of like wash transfer and particles from other things, the metallics, and then all the watercolor staining, and it just like coats the whole thing, and a magic eraser helps. So that's the cleaning supplies I have at my desk. Magic eraser. Okay, let's work on a nose here and give this guy some context. I don't know anything about these dogs except, wow, are they pretty. I'll throw up a picture so you have like a more accurate representation of their coloring. It's just like the beautiful browns. Gosh, you're gorgeous. Did you know you're gorgeous? I hope they know. Some dogs don't know they're beautiful. Okay. You know what that reminds me of? Okay, it reminds me of like the Ugly Dog show. And they have the thing where it's like people bring their dog that they consider to be really ugly, and it's a contest, and the ugliest dog wins wins like a little ribbon. I don't know. I think all dogs are beautiful. That makes me kind of sad. Don't think of your dog as ugly. Okay, yeah. All right. So a nose. I don't know. Yeah, it's just too nasty to be outside. It's just too muggy. It's just too weird. It's like misty. It's not even like a decent rain. And I'm in the northern hemisphere, so technically it shouldn't be rainy, but we get a lot of rain where I live. So we gotta water the forest in the summertime, and that's how we do it. I'll make this one a little higher, and it's like it's at an angle. Okay. Proportion, placement, angles. Yeah, that's kind of how I get these dog drawings done. And I still haven't ventured out into the weird yet. It's, you know, day 16 of 50, because it's 48 pages in this book, so with end paper and cover, we'll do 50 dogs. Gosh, he's cute. I can't. You're so cute. You're just gonna hear me say that over and over this entire video. Oh gosh. If you want me to do a dog tutorial video, let me know. And just vote on which dog you would like to see a tutorial of. I don't know what breeds are the most common or the most popular. I don't know anything about that. I think all of them are wonderful, so I just need to be treated with care and properly trained and loved. They just all need to be loved. I know we have a bunch of no-kill shelters, which yay, we don't do that here. We received a bunch of dogs that were rescued from dog fights. And so if our dog is out or we're out and somebody's walking their dogs are dogs that have been in dog fights and have been rescued are very reactive, even with extensive love and training and trying to help them out. They can't get back to where they were just because of the trauma and all the damage done. And so what happens is if I'm out and about or like in the front yard with our dog or something, and somebody's walking a dog that has been rescued from dog fights, they'll say as they walk by, because those dogs see the size of our dog, and it's not their dog's fault. Like, they've been conditioned to go after and attack really big dogs. Like, that's a thing. And you can tell because of the amount of scarring and stuff they have with all over them. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And so they'll just say, hey, rescued fight dog. And I'm like, okay. And we'll just go and we'll bring our dog in. So it's fine. They walk by, we're good. Like, their dog is much more mellow and having a nice, more relaxing walking experience. So the communication's there and the understanding's there, and my neighborhood and community understands, like, rescue dogs. Like, you've got to rescue all the dogs. No fight dogs. That's not what we're doing. And those dogs deserve to be able to try different neighborhoods and have different walking experiences in different areas and stuff. So they just communicate that, and everybody understands and gets it, which is really, really nice. It's really nice they don't have to say more than that to people. And like, dogs are brought in and removed out of sight and stuff. So it's much nicer for them. I'm trying to think. We rarely go to the dog park anymore. We did when she was younger because she was so frightened. Like, our dog's huge. I've mentioned it in the last video, her size and stuff. She's part Mastiff. But she was absolutely terrified. And she had 7 sisters. They were all adopted out. She was the last one adopted. And she was like the most shy and the most mellow and the least reactive to cats. Like, they can cat test them. They have like at the adoption place, they have a cat there, and so they just let the cat walk by and they walk the dog by, and they can tell you when you go to adopt a dog, like, how they react towards the in-house cat and stuff, which is really nice, especially if you have other pets. We have 2 cats, and they're like, she doesn't react at all. yeah, she's fine when the cats ignore her. Our cats don't ignore her. So we're still very careful because our cats are bullies. They just are. So we took her to the dog park a lot when she was younger to get her acclimated to like babies, because we don't have babies in our house anymore, and different sounds and different noises and different breeds and different sizes of dogs and all the things. And people will say, or they'll pull their dog out. They'll be like, I have a neutered male. Like, people are really, really good with communication here because there's just so many dogs. Like, everybody has dogs. Or if their dog is mixed with something else, they'll say, hey, is your dog okay with XYZ? If your dog is not okay with this mix that we have, or you're not sure, we'll be careful or we'll leave. I was there really early one morning. Gosh, this was years ago. This was pre-pandemic. So I think her dog, I don't know. She was always big. So she was probably around 80 pounds at that point. They brought in 2 dogs. One was something massive, something huge. And the other one was part wolf. There are a lot of wolf mixes where I live, and that's hit or miss because you don't know if the dog's going to act more like the dog breed that it's mixed with or the wolf that it's mixed with. And some of these, again, are rescued, and it's not like people are seeking out to have dogs mixed with wolf. It's, hey, there's a thing at the shelter, and we need somebody with experience, with really good training experience, who lives a very active lifestyle, that understands this dog is mixed with wolf. We need help. Can you adopt this dog or foster this dog? If you have, you know, the prerequisites. And sometimes it's like no kids, no other pets, must have large dog experience and large dog training experience. Like, our shelters are really, really specific. They're very, very careful. It's very, very thoughtful. I'm here for it. I'm here for it because it leads to such a successful adoption. Like, the rates of dogs being handed back and going, yeah, not a good fit, is really, really low because they're so specific with what they want and what the dog needs. So there was one. There was one, and he was a big boy, and he was definitely, his behavior was definitely more wolf than dog. And she put him, because some of the like dog parks and stuff have different areas that you can isolate them in. Like, there's a tiny dog area, there's a large dog area, there's individual dog areas so they can just smell a different, they can go to a place but not bother any of the other dogs. Like, it's all very thoughtful. You know, with all the doggy bags, and then there's water fountain the dogs can activate and all this stuff, right? And sticks. And then there's a guy that just strategically brings tennis balls and just dumps them everywhere every few weeks because his dog just loves tennis balls and he feels bad, so he just dumps tennis balls in every dog park he goes to. So there's lots of toys. Like, there's just all the things. It's really, really nice. But the dog was definitely more wolf, and he was big, and he was a lot of things. And I was chatting with the owner, and she's like, yeah, he's okay with her because she's also around his size, but he's not good with anybody anywhere. And I was like, how do you do that? How do you train him? She's like, it's very specific. We have a special trainer that we hire just for him. He has to have one-on-one training. He can't be around other dogs like that. And I was like, that sounds really dangerous. And she's like, we're very careful. I've had wolf mixes before, not on purpose, but like, we're one of the few people that do specific training and house and foster these really big dogs that people keep breeding and then dumping here. Like, our rescue went and rescued a dog from really, really far away. Like, thousands of miles away, we will take dogs from a kill shelter, really, really far away. And that's always really interesting when somebody's like, I recognize that dog. Why are they so far away? And our shelter just goes and rescues. They're like, yeah, we don't want to hear about a kill shelter killing dogs, so we'll just take them all. We have shelters that, like, we only do small dog, or we try and do this size. Like, our shelters are really specific. Again, because it's such a big dog area where we live with the forest and the hiking and everything that's so dog friendly. Like all the establishments, all the restaurants, all the businesses that are very, very, very dog friendly. And so it's all very, very thoughtful. I have never once seen a wolf mix on a walk around the street. I've never seen that. And so the fact that she had brought him to the dog park, it was so early in the morning. She's like, I'm always alone. I'm like, yeah, this is a fluke. This is a fluke that I'm here, that I'm up this early. She's like, no, it's totally fine. I love chatting with people, and he's off in his own little space. And I was just like, do you walk him? Like, how do you take him in public? She's like, no public. And I'm like, okay. And she was like telling me all the things she has to do to protect him, protect people, but make sure he's having a nice life. Like he's having an enjoying, satisfying life in the spaces he can be in. And she's just like, it was so irresponsible of them to crossbreed with a wolf, but he deserves to have a life too and not be put down just because of what he is. And I was like, yeah, no, that's yay for you. Like we need people that do these hard things, that have the time to dedicate to these really specific breeds where these things happen. And man, that's not a thing that my husband and I have been trained to do. Like we understand large dogs, we understand large dog training, but we don't have any of the training when it comes to other things that have been mixed with dog. Like that's not a thing. And I can't imagine. And I like look at my upper body strength of where it's at now, and I'm much stronger than I used to be, but you have to be. Our dog doesn't pull on the leash. She's not like that. But if she ever did, like you need to be strong enough to handle, 110 pounds going, nope, we gotta go. When she was really, really young, we had to get her used to noises. And it was really hard because skateboards, scooters, people flying down a hill, like hooting and hollering and having, kids just having fun. It terrified her. So we went to one of the trainers and they helped us a lot with like sounds and training with that. And we would do the dangest things at home. Like we would drop a broom right next to her to get her used to really startling, jarring other noises. So she wasn't reactive to that. So it wasn't something that like startled her or scared her. Because what we didn't want is her to be startled and scared and then be by somebody else that was startled and scared. Because some people like startle when dogs startle. You know what I mean? Like if the dog's freaked out, I'm going to be freaked out. I want to know what they're freaked out about. Like that all makes sense. So we were really, really careful and did all that when she was really, really young. But, oh man, I can't fathom the wolf mixes. Like it's just something like you hear about them and you know about them. And we know they're in the community. And I've seen that one guy. And he was absolutely massive. No, I didn't pet him. I always ask anyway, like, hey, is your dog good with pets? And they'll tell me yay or nay, or they're in a training thing. We do have a search and rescue lady. We have search and rescue dog programs. I don't know that that's still going on, but pre-pandemic they had a search and rescue dog program. And she has, oh gosh, I want to say she has about 4 dogs. I'm not naming her, but I've chatted with her several times and she's talked about what it's like having search and rescue dogs. And she has a couple dog therapy dogs that she takes around to retirement centers, and she does all that training and all that work. And one of her dogs was search and rescue retired because he got injured on the job, jumping from a ledge to rescue this kid. I can't even. But it happens every once in a while in the forest. Somebody goes missing and the search and rescue dogs come. And the thing with search and rescue, which I don't know if they talk about this, is that it's all from your pocket. So if you get your dog search and rescue certified, like they're trained and certified and they have the licensing and stuff, and there's an emergency on one side of the United States, you fly there, that's on your dime. You pay out of pocket for all that. You pay for the hotel, you pay for the food. Nothing is provided for you. And then, you know, a day later, it could be on the other side of the United States. Then you have to fly to the other side of the United States. And it's all out of your own pocket. So it's definitely something that you have to have the time, the energy, and the resources to dedicate to doing something like that, which I just think, gosh, that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal of the person, that's phenomenal of the dog. Like, they're the real heroes of this story. To be able to do and afford that sort of thing, like, it just boggles my mind. The therapy dogs are amazing because they literally, when they're at the dog park, they go around to all the dogs that are agitated and calm the dogs down. So it just, like, they find something to do that's in their wheelhouse and they just keep doing it. It's really, really cute. But yeah, that lady was fascinating. She was telling me all about it. It just sounded really, really, like, out of pocket expensive. And I had no idea. Like, I didn't know. I thought that maybe, you know, the police or whoever was looking for the kid had sort of a budget or a program that paid for some of this stuff. But it does not. That's not a thing. So, it was just wild. But her dogs are cute. All of them are cute. They were all of varying sizes. The dog that was retired definitely had a limp. He did not play very hard, and then he sat down and relaxed. But yeah. And he was kind of medium size. I don't know that super large dogs or super tiny dogs would make good search and rescue just because of their size. They have to be really fit. They have to be high energy. They have to be able to walk long distances. So middle size, high energy dogs probably for that. Her therapy dogs were all lap dogs. They were all tiny guys. They were cute, guys and girls. They were really sweet. But yeah, I don't know a lot about it. We were looking in the very beginning. We were thinking about having our dog be a therapy dog because she's really good height for folks in wheelchairs. Like, they don't have to bend over. They can just reach over and, like, put their hand on her head. And I was like, that's a really nice height. So we were going through the training, and you had to be through, I think, 4 different classes with certificates before you could enter the final section, which was like 2 or 3 classes for dog therapy. And then the end test, I was like, she would totally pass the end test except for one thing. And the last thing is you have to be able to hand your leash off to somebody else, a complete stranger. This complete stranger comes and administers the dog therapy test. And you hand your leash to them and they take your dog and walk away with your dog to go and do the test. And I'm like, she would fail that. So epically. She does not walk with strangers. We could not hand her leash to a complete stranger. She would sit down and she would wait for one of us to return. She wouldn't say anything. She'd just sit and wait. So she definitely would not pass that portion of the exam because she doesn't walk for strangers. She wants to know where her people are at, and so she'll sit and wait. And she'll sit and wait forever. She's very patient, which is cute. But yeah, so when the pandemic hit, we kind of gave up on that because the amount of time and things, and then we started homeschooling, so we just didn't have the time for it. But yeah, our big baby. And I think she likes not having to be on all the time with strangers, so we just let it go. You can kind of see it's kind of coming together. I don't know. I'm trying to negative space some whiskers here. They don't really have long whiskers, but they should definitely have something. I always forget. Oh my gosh, I posted a picture where I didn't even draw the whiskers. I'm like, I totally forgot to put those on. The devil's in the details. Anyway, so this is me using up my pen. I need another eyeball though. Let's do another eye. Let's figure out where we're gonna put this one. We'll make this one a little bit bigger and at an angle and all the things, I think. So anyway, yeah, that's what I know of all the things that are dog training related. They have some decent dog training books at our local library that are nice. But yeah, the search and rescue program, we had a free one We have some interesting free programs that I think major cities charge for, but because we're such in a weird location where search and rescue dogs are actually needed once in a while, these things end up being free, but then you gotta like follow through with how to search and rescue dog, you know? So I just can't imagine like living life out of an airplane constantly in different places and cities. And I mean, the idea of being able to help, like that's the dream right there, being able to help and find missing people. That would be absolutely phenomenal. But I just can't imagine living out of hotels and airports with my dog like that. Like that would be, it sounds really lonely. You know what I mean? It sounds people lonely. Like, I don't know. It'd be such an interesting thing to follow somebody around and like listen to them tell stories and stuff about some of those experiences. I imagine that there's probably like some sort of therapy needed for the adult, because I imagine like, what if it didn't go well? Like if you're searching and rescuing and you don't rescue someone, like I think therapy would be needed for sure. Like I think that would be a really hard thing to understand and live with and come to terms with. So I just have so much respect for the people who do those things, because it just sounds really hard. Like emotionally, physically, mentally, financially, like no part of that sounds easy. Though anything worth doing probably isn't. So shout out to all the search and rescue doggos and their handlers and their people, because they're the real MVPs of this whole story. They're the ones doing all the rescuing and helping. And I think that's amazing when dogs have jobs like that. One of my favorite things back when I was on Twitter, when Twitter was Twitter, was We Rate Dogs. And We Rate Dogs has, they rate, people send in pictures of like their dogs doing really cute, funny stuff. And then they rate them. And it's always like 12 out of 10. It's always really, really cute. They are on Instagram. They have cute little stories of like dogs in the news doing amazing things or silly things, or, you know, rescuing people. Like it's just very heartwarming dog stories. And we have, when the pandemic kicked off, it was really hard to span time. Like what month are we in? What day are we in? Like it was really hard to figure out where we were at. And so we bought their daily calendar, because it just helped with the time moving and the kids could see it visually in a different way that brought humor and cuteness into it. And we still have their daily calendar. I just picked up the 2026 to make sure I have it on hand. I know I bought it early. I always do, because it's just something we really enjoy, and we look at the cute dogs on every page, and it's heartwarming and adorable. So shout out to We Rate Dogs. My dog says hi. That's one of their like merchandise things, is a sticker people put on their cars. My dog says hi. Tell your dog I said hi. It's really cute. I need to get a little bit of a ear situation going here. Anyway, well, that was off the page, wasn't it, a little bit? But he's coming together. You can kind of see him. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have an absolutely wonderful weekend. I hope your next week is wonderful as well. And I will talk to you later. Bye.